now at 11.
A second man arrested in a double homicide here in Twiggs County. I'll tell you what investigators say happened on that day.
Debate continues on Capitol Hill over America's debt ceiling. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at what could happen if the ceiling doesn't get raised. Is the COVID-19 vaccine a real vaccine? Some claims swirling online say it's not. Our Verify team goes to the experts to find out if it's fact or fiction.
13 WMAZ News at 11 starts right now with Frank Malloy, Lori Johnson, Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones, and Marvin James with sports.
A man Twiggs County investigators believe was the other half of the duo who killed Fred and Peggy White last month is in a Twiggs County jail tonight. Kayla Solomon spoke to the Twiggs County Sheriff to find out how the actual crime unfolded.
Sheriff Darren Mitchum says on Monday night they arrested Waynear Lester. He says he was a former employee of Fred White's construction company and also a friend of Charles Rowland. Mitchum says together the two hatched a plan.
Our investigation has revealed that Lester and Rowland planned the burglary of this house, of the White's home, together.
On September 11th, Sheriff Darren Mitchum says they were called to a home in Dry Branch for a burglary. The investigation then turned deadly, with Fred and Peggy White's bodies found soon after.
Rowland was actually the one that went out to the property to do the burglary and consequently killed Mr. and Ms. White.
This man, Charles Rowland, was arrested 2 days later and charged with 2 counts of murder, burglary, and theft by taking. But now Mitchum says they know Rowland didn't act alone.
We do know that before, during, and after the burglary and the murders occurred, that there was conversation between Rowland and Lester.
Mitchum says the investigation pointed to Waynear Lester, who worked alongside and for Fred White as the lookout for the burglary. He says Lester was supposed to notify Rowland when White was no longer on the job site. But when the Whites got back to the home sooner than expected, Rowland panicked and killed them both. Mitchum says it's been a tough investigation, but they're glad to have the 2 main suspects in custody.
And I'm sure it is as well for the family to help to bring some closure to what happened. And as I said, you know, we got a few more things we're going to run out to be absolutely sure that there's no one else involved.
Mitchum says after meeting with the district attorney's office, there could be more charges to follow for both Rowland and Lester. Reporting in Twiggs County, Kayla Solomon, 13 WMAZ News.
Sheriff Mitchum says Lester is currently being held in the Twiggs County jail while Rowland is at a jail in another county. The Bibb Sheriff's Office investigating a stabbing that happened early Monday morning inside the jail. Sheriff David Davis says 24-year-old Orlandis Fort was stabbed in the leg, head, and face by another inmate. The suspect is Robert Ottman Jr., currently in jail on murder charges. Davis says Fort is in stable condition and his injuries were non-life-threatening. The sheriff says the attack happened in a cell block where they're currently doing cell door renovations, a project that's been in the works since the summer.
This is one of the situations where they were able to jimmy the doors open and get at one another. And so this has been a recurring issue in the jail where they're able to get out and cause mischief.
According to jail records, Orlandis Fort has been in the jail for about 9 months on several charges, including arson.
Well, about halfway through, I think is how we would call it with this system that we have. Yeah, halfway. It just keeps on pouring. We just had another big wave come through the Macon area and more to come on through. 69 now, and we're going to kind of hover with this number as we go on through tonight. Maybe a rumble. You know, last night, night before, we even had some late night rain with a couple of thunderstorms in the mix, and it's hanging around for another couple of days with another couple of inches or more still in some spots on saturated ground that doesn't need any more rain. All right, so here it is. The models were calling for it. Another swath moving through, and it just developed over the past hour and a half. Putnam County down through Baldwin, getting over into Jones County. That's what just rolled through East Macon here just a moment ago and is making its way on up toward the north pretty quickly. Wilkinson County kind of thinning out a little bit here, but this is the heavier stuff from Bleckley down to Dodge, Pulaski, kind of between Eastman and Hawkinsville here. A couple of lightning strikes in there, but not a severe storm or anything like that. But of course, this is some heavy rain. It's almost like a tropical-like thing. It's called a cutoff low. It's over in Mississippi, and it's got nothing to move it. It's out from all the other weather, stuff that would steer it, so it's cut off. But it's going to get a punch by Friday, it looks like. I'll show you what I'm talking about on the way.